Dr. J.L. Gupta, sir, to welcome our guest. Dr. J.L. Gupta is our grand youngest man of the team who has who has been one of the most motivating source of our all our endeavors that have been taken up in the past and would be taken up in the future. By his very presence, he infuses energy in all of us. Sir dons many hats. He is presently the member of Finance Committee, University of Delhi, member of the University Court, and he is former member of the highest decision-making body of the University of Delhi, the Executive Council. His dedication and devotion to any task that he undertakes is unmatchable. वो कहते हैं ना, जब वो ठान लेते हैं तो फिर वो अपनी भी नहीं सुनते. He is an alumnus of Shriram College of Commerce, Delhi School of Economics, from where he completed his PhD, MCom, and BCom honors, and taught at ARST College, University of Delhi. He has been invited to give lectures in many professional institutes. Now I invite our Dabar Chavanpraj young man, Dr. J.L. Gupta, sir, to welcome the guests. Sir, over to you.
Dr. Rekha Dayal, for your nice words. A very pleasant afternoon to one and all. For me, it's a moment of pride and honor to be in the midst of a galaxy of distinguished guests sitting in this august house on virtual platform. The chief guest, Professor K.K. Agarwal, likely to join very soon, Chairman, National Board of Accreditation, Founder, Vice Chancellor, Shri Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Professor S.S. Bhakar, Vice Chancellor, ITM University, Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh, Professor Alok Chakraval, Vice Chancellor, Guru Ghasidas University, Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh, Professor Principal, Professor Dr. S.P. Agarwal from Ramanujan College, faculty members, participants from different parts of the country, nearly 400, and members of the organizing team. I welcome you all to this 2 weeks refresher course on research methodology and data analysis organized by the Teaching Learning Center, Ramanujan College, in association with Indian Accounting Association and CIAPTA. Now, research methodology is the mechanism to solve a research problem in a planned way. Data analysis is the process of systematically applying relevant statistical tools to describe, illustrate, condense, and evaluate data. In fact, research and data analysis are very significant for all professionals to develop decision-making process in the modern era. Now, coming to the objective of this course, the present refresher course is designed to cater to the needs of academicians, researchers, and industry professionals for a sound understanding of research design and use of related softwares for data analysis. The course intends to give you an interactive online training on the models and tools in different subjects domain to learn the forecasting and modeling tools. The course will also help the participants in writing research papers for good quality journal. Now, there's a big list of topics to be covered in this program. Some of the topics include an introduction to research, data types, research process, hypothesis testing, model building, gaps in model framing, research questions, research objectives, introduction to the software, SPSS, data entry, data cleaning, and data handling operations in SPSS. Introduction to the software, R&R Studios, statistical and regression analysis using R&R Studios. Now, coming to the resource persons who are going to handle these prominent topics include Professor S.S. Bhakar, Vice Chancellor, ITM University, Professor C.P. Gupta, former head, Department of Financial Studies, Dean, Faculty of Commerce and Business. Professor Neeraj Kaushik, Department of Business Administration, NIT, Kurukshetra. Professor C.S. Sharma, Shriram College of Commerce. Professor Narayan, Faculty of Management Studies. Professor Jasmeet Kaur, Pearl Academy, and many others. I'm sure this program will go a long way on the academic growth of the participants, and this in turn will help in their upgradation of status through increased API score as required by the UGC regulations. E-certificates will be issued to the participants who successfully complete the program in all respects, which include 90% attendance and evaluation process. I wish all the participants a big success for learning from comfort zone, that is home. At the end, I also take this opportunity to make a small announcement with the permission of our Honorable Principal Professor Professor S.P. Agarwal. The organizing team is planning to launch a part 2 of this program, which will be advanced version of this course and intends to focus primarily on finance, marketing, and some related areas. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for all the encouragement and motivation that you are providing to our young researchers. I'm extremely grateful to our star speakers today, whose contribution in the field of education is immense. We are highly indebted to our chief guest, Professor K.K. Agarwal, Chairman, National Board of Accreditation, who is also the former founder Vice Chancellor of Guru Gobind Singh IP Indraprasth University, Delhi. Sir, we welcome you for our inaugural session. We would like to welcome our distinguished guest of honor, Professor Sher Singh Bhakar, Vice Chancellor, ITM University, Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh, for acceding to our request in spending his valuable time today, this afternoon with us. We are also obliged and we welcome our distinguished guest of honor, Professor Alok Chakraval, Vice Chancellor, Guru Ghasidas University, Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh. Sir, your presence will surely motivate the young minds. I would like to invite now our most dynamic, energetic, and devoted principal, Professor S.P. Agarwal of Ramanujan College. An alumnus of University of Delhi, he acquired his PhD from United States of America, where he also taught. Not only is he a brilliant scholar who has written papers, books, guided PhD students, but is also a deft and determined administrator. Professor S.P. Agarwal encourages whoever comes under his wings, not just the teaching fraternity, but the non-teaching staff, the students, to strive for betterment. I don't think I've ever heard him raise his voice. He does not need to, as his sparkling personality encourages people to finish the jobs effectively and efficiently. Sir, your disarming smile creates the positive environment, not just in college, but I'm sure wherever you are part of, whether it's a meeting or it's a social gathering or it's a seminar. Now I request you kindly to give us the overview of the program. Over to Professor S.P. Agarwal.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rekhaji, for the kind introduction. And as usual, you have been very kind on me. Good afternoon and welcome to all our dignitaries who have joined us this afternoon in this program, and our worthy participants who are always, very eager to join our programs, because today itself, I think there are 400 participants in this program. So, once again, I welcome all of you on behalf of Ramanujan College. Our chief guest today, who will be joining us a little later, Professor Agarwal, Professor Ser Singh Bhakar, Vice Chancellor, ITM University, Gwalior, is with us. Welcome, sir. Thank you very much for joining this afternoon. Professor Alok Kumar Chakraval, again, nice gentleman. We have been talking to him before start of the program. He is also Vice Chancellor, Central University, Chhattisgarh. Welcome, sir. My guru, my guide, Dr. J.L. Gupta, who is always, as Rekha ji said, is motivating us and guiding us, doing various things. Dr. Rekha Dayal, Dr. Anjali, our organizing team members, colleagues, and participants. Once again, I welcome you to this 2-week interdisciplinary course on research, methodology, and data analysis. Friends, the Ramanujan College, basically a Delhi University maintained institution, and this is one of the centers of Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission for Teachers and Teaching. There are about 50 centers all over the country. And let me tell you, and I take pride in it, that we are number one, in training the teachers of higher education. IIT Kanpur is number one in terms of school teachers, training of school teachers, but we are number one in college and university teachers. And we have already trained 150,000 teachers. And our vision and mission is to reach to everyone in the country. Of course, we have done a lot of work during pandemic in last 2 years. Lot of training programs in every discipline, every area, and especially in research and data analysis. We have done a lot of programs, and on new education policy 2020, ABC credits and blended learning. These are also being covered in various programs. Now, today again, we will be emphasizing on research and data analysis. I am not an expert, so I will not speak much on the subject. But I can say that this is one of the key components of NEP 2020. So all teachers, students, and our colleagues will have to understand the importance of research from the perspective of new education policy, and also to apply in day-to-day our lectures, our research, and our other endeavors, as Dr. Gupta said. Now, basically, if we get into the new education policy 2020, you will see that a lot of emphasis on research, even among undergraduate students. See, we have devised a 4-year course in Delhi University, and you will see in the last 1 year, most of the courses are research oriented. And we will be asking the students to write a dissertation basically for whole year. So this kind of emphasis is being given. So unless until as a teacher we are trained in that, we have complete training, we will not be able to produce good students. So our endeavor through this program is to train all of you to the best of the tools, to the best of the techniques, and to teach you the analysis of the data, in your field of analysis. Now, as regards research, all of you know that research basically can be either used for teaching learning, for research, for publication, or for policy making also. Similarly, the data is important to the research, that without data we cannot complete any research analysis. So today, the data is not only important for research, but for policy initiatives of the government as well as for the private sector. You all know, even for educational institutions, like if we are applying for NAC, NIRF. So what we need? Data for last 5 years. If you are not maintaining data, you are gone. This is the basic issue. So the importance of the data is very, very important. And in today's world, again, let me tell you that the government initiatives on sustainability, environment sustainability, and inclusive growth, everything, if you go into the details of these, requires a lot of research, lot of data analysis in order to give the benefits to each and every section of the society. Now, if growth is accompanied with without sustainable environment, without sustainability studies, then probably growth is of no use to the society, because ultimately the environment has to be perfect. The society's problem should be solved with the help of the growth. So this is what I'm trying to relate it with research and data analysis. Similarly, technology plays a very great role in research and data analysis. See, the earlier days, we used to collect data, then we were to compile manually. Professor Gupta and myself has done it manually, and then we started with the mainframe computer. But today, things have become so simple with the technology that just punch on the computer and you will get the result. It is so simple. And even in your day-to-day life, you type anything on your mobile and they will come to know your brain. So artificial intelligence has plays a big role in research and data analysis. So another important thing, there's the skill. Skill sets are very important for any research, for any data analysis. The skills like the software applications. And let me give an example. Two of our students, they developed an app to connect all the students together. Now, what is the benefit? I don't know how do they got the idea, because idea is very important in research, that by connecting the students, they can resolve their problems, talking to each other. If suppose I have gone to United States for higher studies, and I know what are the problems, what are the challenges, so I can share that knowledge with other students. So these kind of platforms, very, very important, for today's world. And if we can connect everyone, everything is available on the click of a button. So you need not go to the places, or need not go to talk to the experts, or spend money on advice. So all these things are extremely important. And for any research and data idea, startups, these are the key things, unless until universities engage into the research, engage into the development of the idea, engage into the, patenting of the ideas, we will not be able to do the Atmanirbhar Bharat, which is the vision of the Prime Minister, or we can say we cannot get into the startups. The kind of startups which has happened in the last few years are tremendous, but everything should come from the educational institutions. That is very important. And we should have a great liaison between the educational institution and the industry, because without that, we will the research is of no use. If you publish it in a paper and few people read it, it is of no use. So with this, once again, I welcome all the dignitaries and the participants, and I'm sure the participants will be benefited with this program, and they will use this knowledge in their real research and classroom teaching. Thank you very much. Over to Rekha ji.
You have rightly said that in the last 2 years, pandemic has taught us a lot. And I think Ramanujan College has done a yeoman service in providing and lifting people out of despair and despondence and putting them into the right track of learning new norms and for the new normal that was presented to us by nature. Thank you so much, sir. I have great pleasure now in inviting our distinguished guest of honor, Professor Sher Singh Bhakar, who's Vice Chancellor, ITM University, Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh. Professor Sher Singh Bhakar has his PhD in management. He had also completed his MBA and BE Electronics in communications and diploma in electrical engineering. Professor Sher Singh Bhakar, before becoming the Vice Chancellor of ITM University, headed the Prestige Institute of Management as the director for almost 2 decades. He's a prolific researcher with a number of books, research papers to his credit. He's an excellent trainer who has been part of not only training for the academicians, but also training of executives in the manufacturing and service organizations. Professor Bhakar has been awarded with many awards, and his achievements have been internationally he has his achievements internationally known. He received the Truly Global Educator Award by the Global Leadership in February 2020. He was also awarded the Asia's most prominent director in education by Global Excellence Lifestyle. He also received the Madhya Pradesh Ratan by the Madhya Pradesh Press Club Bhopal through Honorable Shri Shivraj Singh Chauhan ji, Chief Minister, Madhya Pradesh Award for Excellence in Education Sector. He also received the Pride of International Education Excellence Award by the Global Achievers Foundation Awards in 2015 in Nepal. Professor Bhakar has been also involved in a huge amount of editorial work. He's been the chief editor of many publications which have published very important, prestigious articles, not only nationally but internationally. Currently, he is a member of the Executive Council of Jivaji University, Gwalior, and also holds senior position in a number of organizations. We are extremely honored to have you with us, sir. And now I request you to please deliver your address.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rekha Dayalji. It's a pleasure always being with the functionaries of Ramanujam College, because I've been associated with a number of programs being organized by Ramanujam College, and I have seen how precisely these programs are organized and how useful they are to the people who attend these programs. On the outset, I would like to I would like to pay my honor to Honorable Professor K.K. Agarwal, Chairman NBA. We may be joining in a short while. And my respect to Professor Alok Chakraval, Vice Chancellor Guru Ghasidas University, Bilaspur, Central University in Chhattisgarh, Professor S.P.S. Agarwal, Principal, Ramanujam College, Dr. J.L. Gupta, who actually initially introduced me to Ramanujam College, and he has been associated with me since last about 15, 16 years now, and member of University Court and so many other organizations he's associated with. Dr. Rekha Dayal, C.A. Sanjeev Singhal, Dr. Anjali Gupta, and others who are all involved with this program. I'm amazed the kind of programs, the spread of those programs, the depth of those programs that are being organized by the center under Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching, run by Ramanujam College. As there is, you don't need to even tell that this is the number one teacher teaching college, the center under Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, because the number of programs and the quality of programs that you run under this. So I'm honored to be part of this program. And this time, the program is on research methodology and data analysis. In fact, I have been part of a number of such programs that are being organized by the center. This time I was looking at the contents, and I found that there is a lot more that has been added to the contents that were covered in the initial periods. And I'm personally, glad to see that bibliometric analysis, meta-analysis, and meta-structural equation modeling has been added. Now, these are the areas that generally are not covered in any research methodology program. And these are very, very important to write excellent research papers if you want to publish in some, say, A-star category journals, or Economic Times list of 50 journals. If you want to publish anywhere there, you need to carry out these analysis. And this is, I'm really glad to see that they are there. And the workshop is a combination of both quantitative analysis. The workshop includes the methods based on quantitative analysis and methods based on qualitative analysis, and the software packages that actually can analyze both the quantitative data and the qualitative data. The NVO generally, again, is very rare in research methodology workshops. Yes, SPSS and R you will find everywhere, but generally you find that these and vivo for qualitative data analysis is generally not covered. So this workshop is going to be extremely useful to the even experienced researchers. I'm not saying only the starters, the ones who are going to start their research career. It's going to be extremely important even for those who have been carrying out a lot of research to improve the quality of research that they've been carrying. This workshop would be useful. We know that NEP has given a lot of emphasis to research, but prior to that, I should actually commend the ICT and the National Bureau of Accreditation that actually started this momentum that they will only accept research papers directly from, say, Scopus or Web of Science, and they will not accept a list of research papers that were submitted in all the other accreditations, and you find that you can submit a list, but be it the list of research papers or their citations, both are actually extracted directly from these databases, and that actually puts a lot of pressure on the institutions that participate, that the research has to be real. It cannot be in some dated journals or some fictitious journals. It has to be in real good journals, and that requires that the faculty members must have in-depth knowledge of the research methodology and the data analysis, and that is where such workshops are absolutely important. Even if the institutions want to go for accreditations outside country, all international accreditations actually require research has a lot of weightage in all these international accreditations. Taking a cue from NBA, even NAC has also started giving, NAC had been giving a lot of weightage to universities in research, but the shift towards quality papers has been recent in NAC. So if in today's context, if a faculty member wants to be really good at teaching, he also needs to be good at research. At least he should know all the nuances of carrying out research. He should also be conversant with all the software packages that can be used for carrying out these research, because teaching is not only going to the classroom and interacting with students or presenting a topic to the students. It is far more. You can't depend on only books. Books take time to come to the hands of students. It is the research papers that actually bring what is happening in the industry or what is happening today to the eyes of everyone. Specifically, the online journals. What is happening today would probably available in say 2 months' time or 1 month's time on online, and some of the other journal carried out through some research. The 2 years have been really bad, that we've not been able to do much face-to-face work, though in between a couple of months here and there we got time, but then majority of time had gone on online. But there has been blessing in disguise. It hasn't, the corona may have created problems, but it hasn't been able to diminish the interminable quest for learning of people and interminable quest for delivering knowledge to students. The teachers have taken, they've gone beyond their limits, learned how software can be used, how different packages can be can be used to deliver these sessions, quality sessions to the students. And all these the tools, that LMS tools, learning management tools that we use today, or conference tools that we use today, we were never conversant with since 2 years back. In fact, this is a blessing in disguise, because now anyone from anywhere in the world can join such programs. Earlier, we had to call people, and online the streaming of such programs were never there. And since this program is not only online for the candidates who've joined in, I'm pretty sure it is also being streamed live, and which will be available worldwide. So that is the reach that this online systems have created. And this is a gift that Corona, along with all the other problems, it has given to the world. And it is not only in the academia that these tools are more prominent. They are now everywhere. And even organizations now work from home and so on. And for service organizations specifically, it has become really excellent. The cost can be reduced. The all the quality of life and balance between the family and work life can easily be done now with the online systems available. I wish this workshop great success. I'm will also be conducting a couple of sessions in the workshop on SPSS, and I look forward to interacting with the participants in this workshop. The huge number, 400 plus, I was told, is great. It will be great to interact such a large number of faculty members. I have been using a term called without research, a faculty member is only a classroom operator. And research brings in that additional, that a teacher becomes leader in the class. So I again wish a great success to this workshop. And I'm sure everyone participating in this workshop will have great learning and enjoyable learning. With that, thank you very much. And I welcome Honorable Professor K.K. Agarwal ji in the inaugural function. Welcome, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Professor Agarwal. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Bhakar, sir. You have rightly pointed out that the qualitative and the quantitative part of data analysis both are very important, and they are being covered in this particular FTP, which is going to give our researchers a wide horizon to lean on. And also the work-life balance, which has been taught to us now, maybe the flip side of the way we saw the negative side of the pandemic, but yes, the positive part of it is that we learned to have the work-life balance. The work from home taught us to maximize our potential, and I am sure that with that, there would be a greater learning, and the quest for learning will be much more. We are extremely happy to have with us our chief guest. We welcome you, sir, Professor K.K. Agarwal, Chairman, National Board of Accreditation.
Sir, you can unmute yourself, sir.
Oh, okay. Now
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Namaskar.
Now I would request our distinguished guest of honor, Professor Alok Kumar Chakraval, who's Vice Chancellor, Guru Ghasidas University, Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh, to take over the stage and address us students, young researchers. Professor Chakraval is an MCom and PhD, and his areas of specialization are management, accounting, marketing, research, and of course, finance. He has a very rich 3 decades experience in higher education, teaching to postgraduates as well as the graduate students. As an administrator in the higher education institutions, He has been extremely successful in terms of top management, guiding of students, MPhil scholars, and of course, looking after the corporate administration. This experience is of more than almost 20 years, I would say, as the administrator. Professor Alok Kumar Chakraval is an alumnus of Oxford University and was part of the LEAP program, NIPA, and University of Oxford. He has, to his credit, 20 PhD students and more than 50 MPhil students who have been guided by him. The projects of the MBAs and research projects by British Council are large in number. His publications include books, research papers, monographs, and popular articles. He is also on the editorial board of the international and national journals and has been part of NAC peer team as a member. He has global exposure to countries like USA, UK, China, Thailand, and Nepal, to name a few. Professor Chakraval has held many positions. He has been the visitors nominee of SAM University. He is visitors nominee at Jamia Millia Islamia University. He was the controller of examinations, Saurashtra University. He was nominated as the PR director on Saurashtra Stock Exchange Securities Limited, Rajkot. He has been the coordinator with the UGC NET and the KRA, Saurashtra University, Rajkot. Sir has been awarded with a number of honors and awards. He has been felicitated by the Commissioner of Higher Education, Government of Gujarat, for academic and administrative excellence. He was awarded as the Best Paper Awardee by the academic conference held at Florida, USA. There was also another paper, besides many other papers, for the Best Paper Award at Global Congress on Knowledge Economy in China. Sir, we are extremely delighted to have you with us, and I would request you to address our young researchers.
Thank you, Dr. Rekha ji, for giving such an elaborate introduction of mine. I express my sincere respect to Professor K.K. Agarwal ji, whom I have never met, only virtually. Sometimes I have seen him. I wish someday I would be able to seek his blessings in person.
Sure.
He is a legendary in the field of higher education. And I have a very high respect for you, sir, for all regions. You are a kind of motivation to all of us. Professor G.L. Gupta, who is a binding element to all of us, because he is the person who brings, all of us together. And such a, humble, down to earth, and so much simple. I mean, I really feel like when I'm in his company, I feel like that he is, I'm in the company of my elder brother. He always takes care, always gives me, true guidance of life, how to be a good academician, the way he is doing. I guess, Professor Bhakar, I have met you once in Indore, I guess, not, we have virtually interacted, but not beyond that. But your personality is really a charismatic and charming personality, so I appreciate that. Professor Agrawal ji is such a, he always speaks in a very interesting manner. So we are always, very keen to listen to the words, what he is going to use to us. Dr. Anjali is a wonderful coordinator. She has always, organized wonderful events. And I don't know if I know anyone else, but I wanted to, first, give my, inner heart, feelings. I wanted to, share with all of you. My dear friends, whoever has joined, I can see 223 participants are right now online. Research methodology is just a mode or, just a medium of, doing the researches. And in the name of, available softwares, whether it is SAS or it is SPSS or it is, Excel or something like that, jugglery with data is not research. What I wanted to share with all of you. And what I have noticed these days, most of the research scholars are busy in jugglery kind of Cronbach alpha. I don't know. I mean, let us try to understand how this reliability is done manually. What Professor Agarwal was saying, Professor SP Agarwal sir was saying that we used to do it by manually. You do it, then you learn. How many of us have really done ANOVA manually? Do the t-test manually, then you will understand what is the difference within the group, what is the difference between the group, and how you are getting this F value, F ratio. What is the significance of the F ratio? Playing with the data is not research. I'm sorry to say, but this is the brutal reality. And it is significant, it is not significant. Are you really trying to understand the sense and inner heart of the problem? So the first thing is that, what is the statement of the problem? How you are arriving at the statement of the problem? Say most of us are from, commerce, management, finance and economics and all these backgrounds. I can see this participant from other disciplines also. For example, one student carried out a research on financial performance appraisal of Reliance Industries in India. The other guy will do it on Adani. The third guy will do it in Kirloskar. The other guy will do it on Tata. Oh my God, is this the research? I'm sorry to say, this is not the research. This is just copy paste, nothing else. Okay, somebody says, sir, it is the period is different. I mean, that is why it is called a good research. No, I don't consider. The period does not see what is the uniqueness in that. What is the new thing in that research? My heart cries, I tell you. And because there are good number of assistant professor, associate professor, or professors positions available, people are crazy after doing PhD, and then they are trying and making all their efforts to become assistant. But what is that going to solve the problem of Indian economy? How we are going to make India a self-reliant country? What kind of researches are being contributed to the nation? What kind of researches are contributed to the repository? We need some real life problem addressing, researches. The researches which are going to do some good kind of thing to the humankind, mankind, economy, country, nation, society, community, locality, downtrodden people, the people who are not included. Is your research is going to contribute anywhere as it is going to add something to the inclusiveness of the education, to the inclusiveness of financial aspects, to the inclusiveness of the social culture, to the inclusion of the social welfare? My humble submission to all of you, research methodology, you understand it, but try to learn it by heart. I'm sure Anjali madam and Rekha madam and Agarwal sir has invited wonderful speakers here. I'm not going to. I mean, I'm just initial inaugural speaker. But my heart cries when I see there is a lot of routine and formal things are happening in the field of higher education research. Researchers must address national issues. Research must address real life issues, real life problems. And if it happens, I would be really happy. And I'm sure this workshop is going to help the society and help the researchers to do some meaningful researches, some quality researches. The researches, they are having their own very unique significance in their respective fields. Moreover, doing PhD is not only the research, and PhD is not the end of the research. One of my old friend in the mid of 90s told me that Dr. Chakraval, PhD is just the beginning of research. And thereafter, you have a lot of scope to contribute quality research papers in national and international journals. So I would really see if the participants of this workshop and this faculty development program, where almost 400 plus participants are there, they are going to add some quality papers in Clarivate Analytics or in international journals, which are really renowned, index indexes or indices where, very reputed journals are part of those, repositories. So thank you very much for inviting me here to share my views and ideas with the participants. I feel like this is a privilege to be part of this event. I have always seen this Ramanujan College is doing wonderful jobs one after another, and they are really, executing their social responsibility as an academic institute. And this is really a great joy to be part of your events and activities. Thank you very much for inviting to this event.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Chakraval, sir. And I think you really touched the raw spot. And so well said, sir, that research must address national issues and real life problems. I think a host of our problems would be solved and a lot of care would be taken in the progress of the country if we look into it. Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come that we were waiting for. That is to listen to our chief guest, Professor K.K. Agarwal, Chairman, National Board of Accreditation, former founder Vice Chancellor of Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, Delhi. Professor Agarwal obtained his PhD from NIT Kurukshetra, and he's had a very distinguished service of almost 30 years at NIT Kurukshetra. He served as Pro Vice Chancellor in Hisar for a period of 3 years, and then as the Vice Chancellor of Indraprasth University, Delhi, for a period of 10 years, he made sure that the university shone in its all respects. At present, he is the chairman of National Board of Accreditation. Sir has been president of the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunications Engineers for a long period. He was also the president of Computer Society of India and president of Southeast Asia Regional Computer Confederation. Professor Agarwal has published almost 400 papers in reputed journals, and almost out of these, 50% have been in international journals. Professor Agarwal was conferred the honorary fellowships by Broadcast Society of India. He was decorated with Lifetime Achievement Award by IETE and also by Computer Society of India. Sir, we are indeed highly indebted to you for giving us this time out of your very hectic schedule, and I'm sure the young researchers would be motivated and striving for the right direction towards research. Now I invite Professor Agarwal, sir, to take the stage and address.
Let me tell you, Rekhaji, I think he is still the youngest professor in the country. I believe so,
Yes,
but
sir.
Professor Agarwal
Yes,
will,
sir. I'm sure, sir. I'm sure, sir.
Okay, thank you, Rekhaji, and thank you, Dr. S.P. Agarwal, for the intervention. And it's my pleasure always to be in your program for some very simple reasons, that the sincerity and the commitment which I see in this group, I must admit, I have rarely seen in the groups in the country. The people do activities, do functions, they do one such activity and then stop at that. But doing an activity almost every month or every 2 months, and with the same amount of sincerity, or if I have my closer eyesight, improving day by day. In the gamut of accreditation, I always say that one of the most essential elements of accreditation is continuous improvement. If you cannot improve, there is no accreditation. And my definition, see, out of the 400 papers which you mentioned, I think 150 are in the area of quality and reliability. And my definition of quality amongst the thousands of definitions in the literature have been, if you're doing better today than you were doing yesterday, and if you plan to be better tomorrow than you are today, then you are on a quality path. I have very simple definition, and once you test this, I don't think things can ever go wrong. Thank you so much, Professor Alok Chakrawal and Professor Sher Singh Bhakar, my colleagues in the university system. And as Professor Chakraval said, yes, we have never met, but we have always heard about each other. And that's the beauty of this country. Professor S.P. Agarwal, the very dynamic fulcrum of all such programs, and Professor Rekha Dayal, always a great part of it. Professor J.L. Gupta, who just makes sure that whatever may be there, you have to be here. That's something great. And Professor Chakraval has told today that he has not met me, and I think he has given a task to Dr. J.L. Gupta to ensure that we meet as soon as possible. Thank you so much. And Dr. Anjali Gupta, very meticulous coordinator for the events. I mean, these days, even coordination has become much more difficult, but I never see her failing. So nice of you, Dr. Anjali. Many other distinguished guests and more than 200 participants. As I said, it's always a pleasure to be in your program for the simple reason that it's a great service, and great service being done in a great method and with greater commitment. And there have been many selection committees, let me honestly tell you, where I interview people, and in their CVs, they say, we attended faculty development program at Ramanujan College. Now that gives us a satisfaction that the country, its teachers are being improved. This program is not only for DU teachers, this is for teachers all over the country. And that's a greater service. And I have witnessed this from the other side of the table when people tell me this. So congratulations to all of you in this team, doing very great. And I'm very excited always to be with you for this reason. Friends, the program which you are doing most of the time is on research methodology and data analysis. As Dr. Chakraval was saying, I think somehow we are probably misunderstanding and misinterpreting what is research. I mean, this API is not research, unfortunately. And as a matter of fact, in many cases, API is counter to research. People publish papers for the sake of numbers and the types of wrong things which are going on. I mean, somewhere I read in an international journal that most of the fake journals owe their origin to India. I mean, it's shameful for us. Is this improving our research? And if people publish even this sentence, that most of the fake journals owe their origin to India. Now, that is not India's research progress. And I think somewhere down the line, we will have to correct ourselves on this. And I agree to both of the earlier speakers who emphasized on this. Professor Chakraval, of course, went in greater details when he said people do this as one research and this as another research and so on and so forth. This is all because of the peer pressure of the numbers. I think, how do we eliminate this pressure? I don't have a solution at the moment, but probably we will have to find a solution one day, because otherwise this number of papers becomes self-deception. You start believing you are a great researcher, while you know in your heart you are not. And that's a very dangerous state of mind, that you suffer from a complex that people have published my 200 papers, I must be a great researcher. And you know you're not. And that's happening more often than not now. And it has to be corrected. When you say research methodology and data analysis, Professor Chakraval also talked about data analysis a little. I'm a student of computer science. I know the importance of data, but unfortunately, we are playing with the data also a little too loosely. I mean, I won't like to quote the examples. I mean, you listen to one particular program in the TV for 1 hour, a little specialized program, and all the 3 experts have 3 different sets of data. And obviously, all 3 cannot be correct. So data is somehow what you can do, whatever way you wish to. And if you allow me to see, researchers have a very beautiful characteristics of making others believe what they're doing, rightly or wrongly. There's a phenomenon in research which we call today as zonerism. Zonerism has come from a young Israeli boy who was 14 years old, just 14 years old. He went to a great conference of scientists and said, "Sirs, I have come to you with a great request. I need your support. I want you to support my hypothesis that dihydrogen monooxygen must be banned. It's a very dangerous chemical, sir. It can cause severe burns when it's in gas form. It can kill several people every year. If you are deprived of it, it can then also kill you." And by and large, scientists believe if this is such a bad chemical, yes, we should be banning it. And when he got the majority, great majority vote in banning it, he said, "Sirs, that's the problem of researchers. When I say dihydrogen monooxygen, it's only water, H2O. And all of you agreed with me that this is a very dangerous chemical. It must be banned." Because I put it that way. That's the beauty of researchers. We put it that way that people believe it. And we know we are doing it wrongly. And therefore, when you talk about research methodology, I think how do you do it? I have no immediate solution, but gradually, I think it has to go to real research mindset. And I believe APIs or the number of research papers is not the research mindset. Research mindset is trying to solve some problem, which makes sense. And the statistics, which you teach a lot, which you apply a lot, have been a very dangerous subject, misunderstood by more and properly understood by much less number of people. I think in the last time in your webinar itself, I had told an example. A secretary informs his minister, "Sir, 1.5 people out of 100 have died in this catastrophe." And the minister says, "What a foolish person you are. How can 1.5 persons die? It will be either 1 or 2. And the secretaries in this country are secretaries. They cannot say the minister, "You're wrong." He said, "Sir, when I say 1.5, I mean other went into coma. So one died and the second went into coma. That is why I said 1.5. Because he had to believe and tell the minister that you're right. And this is how we understand statistics. And I know if I give you my PhD thesis even today, which was submitted in 1975, and if I remove the binding, you will not be able to tell me, is it an engineering PhD thesis or a mathematics PhD thesis? And I think that is probably one reason why mathematicians love to call me in their conference, because I believe mathematics is a subject which really means a lot. And many people, great scientists, great industrialists, are afraid of mathematics. And that's a thing which pains me a lot. I remember I was a retainer consultant to TCS for 25 years, conducting hundreds of their programs. When I conducted the program for the senior most scientists in TCS, and now I'm a student of software quality assurance, when I started delivering my lectures, the senior most persons in TCS say, "Sir, don't use any mathematics." How can I teach you reliability and quality without any mathematics? But that is what the senior most persons in the best organization in the country told me. "Sir, don't use any mathematics." And I am reminded of the great quote. He says, "If you feel mathematics is frightening, then the only reason for this is you have not been taught mathematics by a proper teacher. If you are taught mathematics by a proper teacher, you will never find mathematics is frightening. Mathematics is frightening because it is not taught properly." So one of my requests to Professor Agarwal and his team would be, let's train teachers for teaching mathematics in the real sense of the word. other things will follow. And remove many of these misnomers and things like that which happen. And when we have to talk about interdisciplinary research for solving problems, how can it be done without a basic knowledge of statistics and mathematics? While you are doing great work, I would also suggest you and request you, when the national education policy is already on the anvil, please develop, I think, 1 credit courses, just 1 credit courses on statistical awareness, mathematical awareness, and things like that. Let the students of languages understand basics of mathematics. Professor Chakraval was talking about management. I have talked to many management senior teachers who teach financial methods in management and teach them derivatives and stocks and everything. And they are absolutely clueless that the word derivative they use is the same derivative which we use in mathematics. Now that is a pity of this country. They teach derivatives, but without understanding, there is no difference in the word derivative being used there and being used here. Now, unless these kinds of things become clear in the minds of people, I don't think research really takes us very far. So I will request Professor S.P. Agarwal to take up development of 1 credit MOOC courses on various topics of statistics, mathematics, data, and all that, so that we make the people aware. Let a teacher of English also understand what is statistics. Just to that extent. I have asked professor level people in mathematics, if I have the 10 numbers and I know their mean, if I double all the 10 numbers, what happens to the mean? And I don't get an answer. Now, I don't think I could ask a question simpler than this. And they have done PhD. So I think more than the real publishing papers, I think unless our mind is clear, creativity is out of question. I think creativity is a theoretical concept unless you have removed the clutter from here. I'll end by just quoting 1 sentence. The Michael Angelo, which was one of the best sculptor in the world, made a statue, and everybody praised that statue. And a friend of his said, "You have made a beautiful statue." He said, "Dear, I have done nothing. Statue was made by God within this piece of stone. I have only removed the extra material." And the statue was revealed. I think same is true of our students. They have creativity. We have put so much extra burden on that creativity by formulas, by equations, by examinations, that their creativity is now masked. We have to, I think, instead of adding knowledge, let's learn to remove some wrong layers, and the creativity will come out. I think if this great learning center can take up this objective also, to whatever extent we can. It's a very big country. How much one can do is always a limitation, but to the extent we can. And I say that with the conviction and the confidence that this center can do anything. Because I always believe the management quote, only the busiest person in the world has the time to do more. So therefore, I believe whatsoever busy the center is, they can do more. And therefore, persons like me will keep on having the courage to suggest that. With that, I am too happy to be here at the inauguration of this great program, and wish the participants a great 2 weeks period where they learn too many things and take steps to transfer that knowledge to their students and put it in their own research in the most meaningful way. Thank you very much, all of you, and my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. And sure, your advice, we are actually already we have this thing in mind. And let me tell you, our faculty is working. We have divided whole college into 3 schools, and we are interacting with each other, and we have asked them to develop e-contents for each other. That means, as you said, the mathematics and data to the humanities group and to the commerce and management group. So we are working on that. And sir, definitely we will develop MOOCs courses as you advise. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Professor Agarwal, sir. We highly value your suggestions and guidance that you have given us, sir. And I think your focus and your highlighting of the point is very well taken. If we dust off the layers, sir, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Creativity will follow. I think the clutter, there is so much of clutter. And yes, sir, very rightly said, because I also remember that when we were taught by one of the best mathematics teachers in school, I remember all that was taught to me till date. But when the teacher was a slightly lackadaisical in approach, I think that's where we all tend to lose interest in maths and it becomes the most dreaded subject. And one is always left to believe that it is only 1% of the population that loves maths. Thank you so much, sir, for your guidance, your motivation, and I'm sure the college and Indian Accounting Association will definitely take steps in this direction. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Anjali Gupta, our nucleus, I would say, of entire planning, organizing, execution with so much of aplomb. She's an associate professor at Atmanam Sanatan Dharm College, University of Delhi, a brilliant organizer, as I said. And with everything that she does with a beautiful smile. I think I can say what one would do without you. With her extremely efficient team, she is able to lead and is one of the best leaders that I have come across. Anjali, over to you for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am, for such nice words. And really, it boosts my enthusiasm many folds when I seek appreciation and I get appreciated by all such mentors and experienced faculty luminaries that are always present to just appreciate my efforts. Thank you, ma'am. A very good evening to all. Honorable Professor K.K. Agarwal, sir. Respected Professor S.S. Bhakar, sir. Respected Professor Alok Chakraval, sir. Our dear Professor S.P. Agarwal, sir. Our beloved Dr. J.L. Gupta, sir. Dr. Rekha Dayal, ma'am. My fellow colleagues of the organizing team and all our dear participants. It is indeed a great honor and I'm gratified to have been given a chance to present a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, Dr. Anjali Gupta, on behalf of Teaching Learning Center, Ramanujan College, University of Delhi, Indian Accounting Association NCR chapter, and on my own behalf, extend a heartiest vote of thanks to all the honorable guests who blessed us with their benign presence after taking out their precious time from their respected busy schedules. It means a lot that you all have joined us in this inaugural session of 2 weeks interdisciplinary refresher course on research methodology and data analysis. At the outset, we express our sincere thanks and gratitude to our chief guest, Professor K.K. Agarwal, sir. Sir, in his deliberation, in a very simple way, introduced us to the concept of quality, which must be maintained by the educational institutions. Sir appreciated the efforts of TLC Ramanujan College, for which we are really thankful to you, sir. We need to correct ourselves on the research front and at some point find a solution to the rat race of API score that we all fellow teachers have to follow. Maybe it is because of the kind of rules that have come up or other demand of the time. The researchers must be very responsible when reporting their results of research to avoid any kind of misunderstanding as suggested by Sir. Sir stressed on the importance of numbers in mathematics. The researcher and teachers must explore the different aspects or concepts of statistics as well as mathematics to ensure that their statistical and mathematical awareness is enhanced many folds. Sir, we will definitely take up your respected suggestion of developing a MOOC course on the concepts of mathematics. And we thank you for always being there for us and really giving us fruitful and constructive observations and suggestions. Thank you so much, sir. I take this opportunity next to acknowledge our gratefulness to our guest of honor, Professor S.S. Bhakar, sir. In his oration, sir has appreciated the framework and the topics to be covered in the program. Sir has rightly pointed out that a faculty member has to be good at research too, along with teaching. Sir has suggested that caution is required on the part of teachers as well as institutions while research work publication is being undertaken in order to ensure that the research work is recorded in an authenticated manner. Sir, we support your view that this pandemic is a blessing in disguise as it has made us conversant with all online systems and setups without, and definitely without research, as you have pointed out, the teacher will be just regarded as a classroom operator. And in order to become a leader, definitely the teacher has to strengthen the research aspects too. Thank you, sir, for such inspiring words. I take this opportunity to express our gratitude and heartiest thanks to Professor Alok Kumar Chakraval, sir. Sir, in his exceptional discourse, pointed out that research is not about playing with data. The research must be something unique, and research problems must be identified, which must be contributing to the solutions to humankind, country, or policy makers' problems, as suggested by Sir. Education must be made inclusive in nature, and the researchers must be encouraged to explore new, unique research problems. Sir stressed on the fact that the PhD is just the start point, and we agree with that. We as fellow researchers must explore new aspects in our areas of specialization to strengthen our research skills and come well above the trend of repetition. Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. We would like to mention our deep sense of appreciation for Professor S.P. Agarwal, sir, for encouraging and supporting us in this endeavor. In his articulation, sir pointed out the importance of research from NEP point of view and apply the same in day-to-day scenario. The stress on the research in the new NEP, especially for the undergraduate undergraduate program, has increased manifold. And sir, we are thankful for the efforts of TLC Ramanujan College that has been undertaken from time to time. And we hope that we are able to achieve new heights under your guidance. We are really thankful to you, sir, for your leadership. And sir leaves no stone unturned to ensure exceptional quality of the programs that are delivered by Ramanujan College and TLC Ramanujan College. We are indebted to Dr. J.L. Gupta, sir, for his mentorship and guidance. His continuous counsel and direction paves way to new standards that we try to set in every endeavor that we take up as a team. His vision and enthusiasm, ideology is reflected in every program of ours. Sir is a hard taskmaster, but at the same time, we are thankful to you, sir, for teaching us every possible trick of trade that you have learned during your long professional journey over the years. We are really thankful to you, sir, for sharing all that with us. Sir, in his deliberation, has described the spirit and purpose of the refresher course, and we are really thankful to you, sir, for always being there for us. I would be failing in my elegance if I don't express my gratitude to our very own Dr. Rekha Dayal, who is a delightful inspiration behind the program. Ma'am, by her sweet presence and guidance, enhances the quality of the course by sharing his knowledgeable inputs from time to time. We are really thankful to you, ma'am. I'm very happy to express my thanks to my organizing team members comprising of Dr. Abha Vadva ma'am, Dr. Rajiv Nayan, Dr. Purushottam Kumar Arya, Dr. Anshika Agarwal, Ms. Saloni Arora, Ms. Priyanka and Amir for their successful deliberation of the program. I would like to place on record our heartiest thanks to TLC staff members, Mr. Akhil and Prashant, along with Mr. Ravinder Bisht for their perfect logistic supports, which is extended 24/7 to all of us and as well as the participants. Finally, gratitude is in store for all the participants from different parts of India in our midst. On behalf of our entire organizing team, I thank you all for participating in this 2-week interdisciplinary refresher course. Once again, I express my sincere thanks to all the dignitaries for gracing the occasion. It has been a great honor, sir, to have the pleasure of company of all of you, sirs. Thank you. With this, we come to the end of this session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
A very good evening, sir, to everybody. And an announcement for the participants, we will be continuing on this link only for the first technical session by Professor Neeraj Kaushik sir at 6 p.m. Thank you. Sir,
Thank you, Anjali.
Jay Gupta sir, unmute yourself, sir. आप सुनाई नहीं देगा. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Special thanks to Professor K.K. Agarwal, Professor Bhakar, Professor Alok Chakraval, and the organizing team, and particularly Madam Dr. Anjali Gupta. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
sir.
you.
It was a nice
Thank you,
experience.
sir.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
We'll meet
Thank you
again.
for having me,
Thank you,
having
sir.
us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Sir, we meet again at 6 o'clock for the technical session. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
very much.
Anjali. Thank you so much.
Thank you.